But it is my goal to help demystify this process and kind of fill in the gaps of everything that goes into making a film. So while there will be a lot of technical things, there will also be just more experiments and abstract things. And so if you're a new filmmaker, a seasoned filmmaker, you're trying to make your first film, you're trying to make your first feature, I want that all to be available for you. So I know one of the things when I started out that was very difficult to kind of figure out was the contracts and non-disclosures and chain of title and all of that kind of stuff. So with knowing that now, what I know now, it's a little bit easier. So that's kind of my goal, is to make that all available. And I'm also going to be making films while you're making your film. So I want to keep pushing myself. I've seen a lot of people reaching out and asking questions about experimental filmmaking and abstract filmmaking and documentaries and all that kind of stuff. And so it doesn't have to just be a feature film that you're working on. It could be any of those kind of projects. So I want to be able to have accessible information for you as well. And so if you don't know who I am and a little bit of my backstory, then this is, I think, the best time to do this. And this will probably be one of the last times that I kind of put this in a video. But basically, over the last 15 years, I've been making films, feature films, short films, documentaries, all kinds of stuff like that. And I worked as a gaffer for about 10 years in the film industry, working on commercials, corporate videos, those kind of things. Over the last 5 years, I've been working exclusively full-time in schools, and I've created 2 film and media programs at 2 different schools here in Los Angeles, independent schools. So now that this kind of chapter is closing, I've built a lot of curriculum in tandem with filmmakers and artists, film and photography. So what I want to do is I want to take all of that knowledge that has been shared in those smaller environments and offer it to you. And so you're probably watching this because you want to learn how to make a film, or you want to feel empowered to be able to do that. And I want to be able to offer all of that up to you, and also make it a little bit easier to navigate some of the kind of like the weird ins and outs. And so, you know, if you will, kind of like a little bit of the mantra would be just like, I'm kind of tired with the gatekeeping. I don't think that helps anybody, and it doesn't push anything forward. So some of the things you're going to find in this online film school, we're going to talk about AI in filmmaking. We're going to talk about the history of filmmaking. We're going to talk about how we got here. And then we're going to talk about the practical, actual application about making a feature film and how you get it across the finish line. And so one thing to consider is that comes with almost like a business degree, which whenever I was in college a long time ago, that was not really something we talked about that much. We just talked about the technical, how to get a job, how to be employed, things like that. So you may be watching things that are happening in the film industry today and going, okay, well, all of these things have changed and all of these things are not the same and they're not what I learned. And I learned that almost immediately. So I've been in LA for 15 years, and every 6 months it feels like it changes. When I made my first feature back in where's it at over there? I think it was 2014 is when we wrapped it. Sorry, I'm looking at the slate that's in the cabinet. So in 2014, if I was to apply those kind of techniques 11 years later in 2025, it would not be, that would not be accessible. It would not be what you would want it to be. So I don't think I could even use those contracts from SAG and things like that. It just would not happen the same way. So you just got to keep adapting. You got to keep pushing yourself and learning new things. And so that's what this is all going to be about. So, and I'm going to learn it in tandem with you, some of these things. I'm not going to know everything, and that's okay. I tell my students in high school all the time that I can't know everything. It's impossible. So I need to keep learning, I need to keep pushing myself, and I need to keep thinking about how do I continue to adapt as the world keeps adapting. And so, and I hope we can kind of do that together. So, online film school, if you haven't been to the website, that's the next thing that's happening, is that's going to turn into kind of like an online distribution hub for physical media. So over the last year, one of my goals was to get all of my films on physical media. So you've probably seen these, some pictures of them around, but so these are Bronson Creative's first 3 films that are part of that distribution company. And so I want to help other filmmakers also access that information and how to get their films on physical media. I signed 2 distribution deals. That's going to be part of the videos that I'm going to be putting up. And they're not what you think they are. And so, or they are exactly what you think they are, which is not great, a lot of them. So I learned a lot through that process, and I'm hoping to pass that on to you so you can make more informed decisions and you can have more access to the information and just kind of keep tearing down those gates, if you will. I hope that that's basically my hope and my goal. So I don't want to ramble on much more, but I do want to have this. I'm going to try to, like I said, do this kind of once a week at least. And so I think it's going to keep me on it as well as everything keeps adapting. And hopefully you will chime in as well and you'll drop things down in the comments and we can start a dialogue of like what would actually make this the most effective, beneficial thing for a new filmmaker just like you, a new filmmaker, and that wants to make their first short film or their first feature or anything that has to do with that kind of art making process and demystifies it. So I think for today, that's all I have. It's June 1st, 25 as of doing this. I'm gonna try to upload this almost immediately, so it'll be up within the next couple of days, so it'll be timely. And you can head over to bronsonCreative.us and sign up for the newsletter and learn a little bit more. And if you've made it this far, then I think it's because you want to make a film. So make sure you subscribe, like, all those kind of things, sign up for the newsletter, and we'll be in touch very, very soon. So